Hi, I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be delusional romantic fantasy. Well, I've got an email here today, and it's just going to show you that the thirst is real. So, this particular guy, not a good student, he started following me on YouTube. He says over 5 years ago. And so it took him 3 years before he finally got 3% Man. And that was 2 years ago. And it sounds like he read it and then just put it back down, never went back to it, never read it 10 to 15 times. And he says last year he ended up hooking up with a woman that he knew previously, but he was in a relationship at the time. So he says fast forward 2 years after they had met, which was this past year, she reaches out. They started seeing each other, and things were hot and heavy for 2 weeks. He's thinking, hey, I found my soulmate. This is great. He goes away on a business trip for like 2 weeks. Then he comes back, and she has a new boyfriend now. So a year later, he says just a few days ago, I should say, she reached out and said she wanted to pick back up where they left off. And now he's already considering uprooting his life and moving to be closer to her. And you're just thinking, phew. So this is a good email because there's just so many guys that behave this way. They think they're going to bend themselves into a pretzel to please a woman and ignore the fact that supposedly he's met his soulmate. Great, hot and heavy relationship for 2 whole weeks. Then he's on business for 2 weeks, comes back. She's like, oh, I got a new boyfriend now. Hey, sorry. So let's go through his email. He says, hey, Coach, I started watching your videos on YouTube over 5 years ago, and I bought your audiobook, 3% Man, 2 years ago. Thank you for the help when I was starting out. You're a legend. Yeah. So that just tells me, yeah, I read it once and then never looked at it again. And you wonder why this guy's sending me an email. He says, on to the goods. Last year, I ended up hooking up with a lady I had known for some time previously. When we first met, we were friends only as I was dating someone else at the time. We clicked immediately when we met. Fast forward 2 years and we're both single, and she reached out saying she'd be in my area. I set up everything without hiccup, and we ended up having fun and hooking up for the 2 weeks we were together. Look at him. It's like there's a whole relationship. A 2-week relationship. He says, things are going great, and I commend this to how I followed your advice. Oh, yeah, you're sure following my advice properly. I was working 2 weeks away at a time, so when I went back to work and came back, she had found a boyfriend in that time. Wow, she must have really been into you. Must have really been a great love affair. So I'd say what happened was she broke up with her boyfriend and she called all the male orbiters that she knew. And this guy probably acted more masculine than you did. Maybe she had more time with him. Maybe she'd already hooked up with that guy before. Who knows? But you were one of the orbiters that she got in touch with. That's reality. Remember, we all project our fantasy on the other person, and then we ignore that when they don't really match that. He says, I was indifferent when she told me, but let her know that what we had wouldn't continue if she had a boyfriend. What does that mean? She wanted to continue seeing you and hooking up even though she supposedly had a boyfriend? And I backed away and let her do her own thing. I stopped all communication unless she reached out. I was disappointed, but didn't let it bother me. Another bus every 15 minutes. He says, a year passes and she reaches back out to me today. She's single, and so am I. She wants to meet up and continue where we left things. These hoes ain't loyal. I tell her I'll be back in her area next week, and I'll message her when I know certainties and we can set a date. She's 24 and I'm 36. I'm living really far from her, but I'd consider moving closer to her to be with her, though I know this is the wrong move. So why are you considering it? Dude, you had 2 weeks. I mean, already, if you look at her behavior, you go, these hoes ain't loyal. Obviously, you were way more into her than she was into you. So is she newly single and you're just one of the orbiters, the rebound guys she's reached out to? It's like this guy's already planning his future with her, and he hasn't even seen her yet, and it's been a year. He's literally thinking, oh, yeah, I'll consider moving closer to her. I know I shouldn't do that, but I'm considering it. My question is, should I continue what I've been doing, focusing on my purpose and drive, my career, and my daughter? Yeah. And hope she comes to the conclusion to move closer to me on her own? See, this is why I said read the book 10 to 15 times. You cherry-picked a few things, and you absolutely have no idea what the hell you're doing. And so you're ready to uproot your life and your daughter's life to be closer to this chick who, quite frankly, hasn't proven anything other than she was a casual hookup or fuck buddy or friends with benefits. Do you think this is the kind of woman you want to co-parent with your daughter? To be a stepdaughter? Or stepmother, I should say, to your daughter? Whew. He says, or should I put myself in her orbit? Oh, hey, coach, should I act like a woman? Do you think that'll cause her to like me? It's like, bro. I think he might have listened to the audiobook once, and now he's like, oh, I did everything. I don't need to go through it again. Drop subtle clues suggesting she move closer to me? No, you don't need to do anything. Your job as a man is just simply to create an opportunity for sex step, and you're thinking, how do I wife her up? How do I lock her down? I don't want her to get away. She sounds like a drifter to me. She sounds like she's using you as her entertainment and her rebound guy, and you're just happy to follow yourself to do it. I'm crazy about how this girl makes me feel. She's beautiful, funny, lives healthy, and has a positive relationship with her family, especially her dad. Well, he's got it all figured out now. But he ignores, how does she treat you, dude? How's she treating you? Do you like that? Your supposed soulmate spent 2 weeks with you. You go away for 2 weeks in business. She's like, oh, hey, sorry. Shucks, got a new boyfriend. You should have been quicker. Never try to keep somebody in your life who doesn't want to keep you in theirs. If you're not a priority to her, why are you thinking about making her a priority to you? I mean, that's pathetic, dude. Oh, geez, look what he says next. She's worth everything, and I haven't stopped thinking about her, even in relationships that I have been in between. But what would you do if you were in my shoes? I'd treat her like any other girl. I'd be pretty suspect. I'd be thinking, she's more of like a friends with benefits. She's not girlfriend material, wife material, at least based on what you've seen so far. But you remember, people they make their decisions based on emotions, and then they use logic and reason to justify their decisions. And so here he's talking himself into thinking, oh, I found my soulmate. Should I go in with the same attitude as before? Should I let her know how much I missed her? Dude, calm down. Holy shit. I think you should go back and actually read and listen to 3% Man 10 to 15 times first, because you have no idea what the fuck you're doing. Should I confide in her how much she's been on my mind since last year? Women don't give a shit how much you like them or how much you've been on their mind. They only care about how you make them feel. You're acting like a chick. You're in approval-seeking mode. How do I get her approval and attention? How do I get her to notice me? Come on, dude. This is not masculine. You're acting like a chick. I'd love for things to eventually blossom to the point where she wants a relationship with me and not just amazing sex. You don't know her well enough to know whether she's a good person to be in a relationship, dude. Especially if she's even a candidate to be a potential stepmother to your daughter. It's like, pull your fucking head out of your ass. Jesus Christ, dude. I'm curious how you would handle this and what you would do in my shoes. If I was in your shoes, I'd actually read the book and learn it and apply it instead of doing the opposite. Because you don't sound like a guy that understands even a fraction of what I teach. You're literally doing the opposite of what the book teaches. And you have a daughter to think about, so you need to pull your fucking head out of your ass, dude. Seriously. Come on. Whew, man. Your daughter needs a good example, not some emotionally unstable dude that acts like an insecure chick just ready to uproot his and her life for some woman he was just hooking up with for a few weeks. It's like, Jesus, dude. What are you thinking? Well, there's no thinking involved, obviously. It's all emotions. But when you get back in town, just think about the next date. Live in the present moment. Hang out, have fun, hook up. See if she sticks around. See if she makes the effort. You got to let women come to you at their pace. And you're acting like a woman. What's going to happen if you keep acting the same way that you do and you don't go back and read the book? You're going to bounce her. You're going to chase her right back out of your life anyways. And based on her behavior and even what you said about, hey, nothing's going to continue if now you got a new boyfriend, it sounds like she wanted to continue seeing this guy even though she supposedly was in a relationship. So it doesn't sound like she's very loyal. People are going to hide who they are for about the first 90 days. So just make one date. That's it. Don't be thinking about marrying this girl. You don't know her well enough. I mean, that's just nonsense to think that you can make that kind of a decision right now. You got a daughter to think about. It's like, fuck, dude. Jump up and down so your balls drop. My God. So that's all I got to say about that. But I'd get back into the book. I'd read that 10 to 15 times and actually start applying it and learn the material. Let her come to you, and I'd continue dating other women because you put this girl on a pedestal and you're treating her like a celebrity. She already ditched you once, and you keep acting like this. You have the same kind of mindset. She's going to ditch you again. That's just the harsh reality. So if you got a question or challenge and you'd like to get my help, go to understandingrelationships.com, click the products tab at the top of your screen, and book a coaching session with yours truly. Until next time, I will talk to you soon.